devil hadn't got anything on me to laugh about. If I live, I got him. And if I die, I got him.
No lie is of the truth. One Torah shall be for the native born and for the stranger who dwells among you. One Torah and one custom shall be for you and for the stranger who dwells with you. You shall have the same Torah for the stranger and for the one from your own country, for I am Yahweh, your Elohim. You are not to be called rabbi, for you have one teacher and you are all brothers. And do not call anyone on earth your father, for you have one Father who is in heaven. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father which is in heaven. Hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy about you, saying, These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me, and in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men. When you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing on my own authority, but speak just what the Father taught me. Do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter a city of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Saul's fake conversion. Acts chapter 9. As Saul neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? The men traveling with Saul stood there speechless. They heard the sound, but did not see anyone. Acts chapter 22. And those who were with me indeed saw the light and were afraid, but they did not hear the voice of him who spoke to me. Wait, what? So what was it? Did they hear the voice, or did they see the light?
For this I was appointed a preacher and an apostle. I am telling the truth, I am not lying, a teacher of the Gentiles in faith and truth. But if in my lie the truth of Elohim abounded to his glory, why am I also still judged as a sinner? What then is the issue? The important thing is that in every way, whether from false motives or true, Christ is preached. Now I am speaking to you, the Gentiles. Therefore, indeed, inasmuch as I am an apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry. Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law I became like one under the law, though myself am not under the law, so as to win those under the law. To the lawless I became like one without the law, though I am not without the law of Elohim, but under the law of Christ, so that I might win over those who are lawless. I have no authority from Yahweh, but give you my opinion. In this confident boasting of mine, I am not speaking as the Lord would, but as a fool. Be that as it may, I was not a burden to you, but crafty as I am, I caught you by trickery. And yet I show you a more excellent way.
Paul came to Derbe and then to Lystra, where the disciple named Timothy lived. Paul wanted to take him along on the journey, so Paul circumcised him because of the Jews who lived in that area, for they all knew that his father was a Greek.
Now I advantage to you. Yet not even Titus, who was with me, was compelled to be circumcised, even though he was Greek.
Says the guy who circumcised a guy.
If you confess with your mouth Christ is Lord, and believe in your heart that Elohim raised him from the dead, you will be saved, for by the grace you are saved through faith. Know that a man is not justified by works of the law, but by faith in Christ. So we too have believed in Christ, that we may be justified by faith in Christ, and not by the works of the law, because by the works of the law no one will be justified. For through the law I died to the law, so that I might live for Elohim. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. I do not set aside the grace of Elohim, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. For though you might have 10,000 instructors in Christ, yet you do not have many fathers, for I became your father in Christ through the gospel.
When Saul arrived in Jerusalem, he tried to join the disciples, but they were all afraid of him, not believing that he was a disciple.
This you know, that all those in Asia have turned away from me. Saul.
To the messenger of the called out ones in Ephesus, a city of Asia, write, I know your works, and your labor, and endurance, and that you cannot tolerate those who are evil. And you have tested those claiming to be apostles and are not, and have found them to be false. Therefore, when you perceive the abomination of desolation spoken of through Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, let the reader perceive and discern, then those which are in Judea should escape into the mountains.